Hello, and God's blessings on this Good Friday. The Passion each year on Good Friday comes from St. John's Gospel. And each of the Gospel writers follows the general narrative of the Passion, but adds their own particular flavor to their description of the suffering and death of Jesus. And what John adds is a sense of paradox, a sense of what seems to be is not the true reality. The key to understanding John's description of Jesus' passion actually can be found as he begins his story of the Last Supper. And John describes that Jesus loved his own in the world, and he loved them to the end. And it is that love to the end that defines John's passion. And how he expresses that love is through one of his favorite literary devices of paradox. John uses it throughout his gospel, but the height can be found in his description of the passion. Because the one who is seemingly powerless, Jesus Christ, the one who is persecuted, sentenced to death, and dies executed on the cross, the one who seems to have nothing, is the one who is powerful. And the ones in the story who seem to have all of the power, the mob, the religious authorities, and most especially Pilate, are the ones who are actually powerless. They are confused and unsure. It is Pilate, the representative of the great Roman Empire, who is vacillating and weak, who is fearful, and who doesn't respond as he knows he should. He has no power. He loved his own in the world, and he loved them to the end. And out of that love, we encounter a Jesus who is serene, who is calm, who in John's passion is in command of every situation that he finds himself, even from the cross. Because for St. John, the love of God in Jesus Christ leads to freedom. And freedom is power. The freedom to love is the power at work in Jesus Christ. And that is the great paradox. That it's not force, it's not authority, it's not violence, but rather the love of God in Jesus Christ that is ultimately powerful. These last days and weeks have found us often in a place of fear and uncertainty. And the power of those feelings can seem insurmountable. But we also know that in this time of fear, of uncertainty, of suffering and death, we have also discovered that there is great power in love. We have found it in the generosity and self-gift of doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals who, risking their own lives, have served others. We have found it in people we would probably least expect. The people who work at Schnucks, who collect our garbage, who deliver our mail, who respond to our emergencies, who are caring for their fellow citizens with great generosity. We even find it within our own homes, where parents are now also teachers and helping their own children to learn, to grow in love. In these difficult days, we have found that in fact self-gift, generosity, and love are always more powerful. That acting out of love as disciples of Christ we too are powerful, and that ultimately fear, uncertainty, and even death on a cross, are not ultimately powerful. It is God's love that always and forever is power.